I don't remember any of it.
You don't remember?
For you, the day bison graced your village was the most important day of your life. But for me, it was Tuesday.
Welcome to the Rated G for Gamers podcast, episode 136. Just a reminder that you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Vero at Rated G for Gamers. You can always email us at info@ratedgforgamers.com. Please rate and review us on iTunes. We appreciate all the love. I'm your host, Dave Rotino. This is my co-host, Dan, the podcaster, formerly known as Classic Robinson.
What's going on, man?
Dan, we have finally done it. After 136 episodes, we finally get him on. Please introduce our good friend, Joe Chagan, to the podcast.
Woo! Yeah! Woo!
It's an honor. It's an honor just to be nominated. So glad to be here.
Well, welcome to the show. It's been a long time coming. We definitely wanted to have you on for a while. You were the first guest that's going to be on the whole entire show. So we're going to kind of go through all the quick takes up top, get into what we've all been playing, if you've had any pickups and whatnot, and we got some good news stories to go through too, right?
You're here for the whole rigmarole.
You're
You're in it to win it. So, Joe, I've known you for a while, but I don't know the video game Joe. Like, what's going on, Joe? What? How did you get into gaming? What games do you play? Like, what's your series? what type of game do you like to play?
The short version. I've been in it for forever. My parents got Pong as like a wedding present before I was born, and then they bought each other a ColecoVision as an anniversary present before I was old enough to play it. So that was always there. So I've been playing Qbert and Zaxxon and terrible Popeye game for
I had that one for Atari, yeah.
And I just never stopped, man. I was a Sega kid. Well, I had an NES, and then I went Genesis because they were edgy and cool, and I'm a sucker for marketing. And then I stuck strong to the Sega Nintendo thing when Sony came around. Big Dreamcast fan. Still angry at the PS2 just a little bit. And then,
tell them why you're mad. Tell them why you're mad. Don't be angry. Don't be angry.
I can go into that length, but I mean, I'm a believer, and that the Dreamcast was a little bit taken down by Sony's marketing of the PS2's BS emotion engine and its amazing Toy Story-like graphics kind of stuff that everyone thought was going to be the truth.
Don't get mad because we played DVDs on the PS2.
I can watch CD. It was almost as good.
I'm definitely with you, Joe. Gone too soon. Love the Dreamcast. Most underrated system of all time.
Behind the Sega Saturn. Yeah, I know. I feel you. I understand.
The Saturn had some issues.
I get it.
Thank you. Yeah, the Saturn did have some issues. So, sad to see the Dreamcast go. But I mean, Sega's still kicking at least. They've kind of bounced back, and they're a great publisher and a good game developer.
Yeah, they've sort of sorted their stuff out lately. In recent years, it's turning around for them, so that looks good. And
finally got a good Sonic game.
Yes. Yeah.
What? What? Get out of here.
Sonic Mania is a great Sonic game.
Nah.
Yeah.
We already talked about this. we already talked about this. It's an okay Sonic game. Okay. Sonic 2 is still the best Sonic of all time.
Sonic 2 is great. Yeah.
I am a CD fan, although it's certainly got its problems, but it's got a very special place in my heart.
Right. So, I guess
what I was gonna ask. What is your favorite game of all time, Joe? Feet to fire right now. Feet to fire. Favorite game of all time.
If I absolutely had to pick, I'm probably gonna have to go with Halo.
Wow.
Wow. OG Halo, right?
Combat Evolved. Yeah.
The first one with the overpowered pistol.
I mean, I love the campaign. I love the multiplayer. I still can play it to this day. Like, I mean, you can go back and try and play GoldenEye. That game does not hold up, especially with that weird controller. But the C is still tight. C is still fun, and that campaign is still gets me. The score,
right. Well, we both me and Joe go back to college days, and we had Halo Thursdays. We'd all kind of come around, grab some beers, and just kind of do the network play.
And projector set up, and 2 crappy TVs, one of which we found in the trash. Anything we could do to get more players.
Nice.
Yeah, we had like we had the best AV setup college kids could buy.
Wow.
Cobbled together with things from the garbage.
Oh yeah. Oh, good times though. Good times.
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
Nice. All right. Well, Joe went to Germany with you, right? You guys went together.
Oh yeah. Yeah. We had a nice big crew. It was about 8 of us who went. And I mean, I talked about some of the stuff last week, going to the game stores and whatnot, and the proliferation of beer. The fact that it was everywhere and super cheap,
Listen, man, it's nature's fruit juice over there.
They drink it instead of water.
They don't drink water.
Not that I've ever seen. I mean, I think they order it, but I think it's just on the menu for foreigners who are confused.
I spend more money on water than I did beer, I think, because water is just so expensive. They don't expect anyone to drink it. That's crazy. $3 for water at the table.
Or they would just give it to you. About it is that you could go to a restaurant, because we're on vacation, so we're there weekdays. I'd be at a restaurant having breakfast at 9 a.m. and there are these the locals are there having sausage and a liter of beer for breakfast. It's not a stereotype. It's not a joke. That's how they roll in Bavaria.
Listen, it's the breakfast of champions. I mean, come on. You got to have your sausage, and you got to have your porridge, and you got to have your liter of beer. You got to have your lager. You got to have your German lager.
That's right. Oh my God.
I've been chasing that high ever since I got back.
They're not the same here. The Oktoberfest beers are just not the same.
Oh, the American made ones are terrible. I haven't found a good one yet.
No, I had I had some Shiner Bock, I think Shiner a couple days ago, and it was okay, but no.
Yeah, the bottle's not the same as the draft coming out.
Give me a spot in any day.
Yeah, I got to take you guys to a spot in Long Island. I went while you guys were in real Germany. I was in I was in fake Germany. I was in a beer hall in Long Island. It is awesome. It is. They had some German concert with German dancers or something like that in the back, and it was just nothing but benches. I mean, I know we go to the city or in Brooklyn where they have German beer halls, but this place. I mean, the whole structure was. I felt like I was in Germany, and everyone's dressed in the official German garb and everything. And I tell you, there was no small. I asked for a pint of beer. They brought this huge. I must have had 2 pints. 2 pints and a half. I was like, I asked for a pint, and they give me this huge jug. Yeah, so right. I got to take you guys there, and you can tell me how authentic it is.
I'm down to go tomorrow, man.
We can try.
I've been trying to recapture the magic since I got back. I've had literally 5 different Oktoberfest beers since I got back 2 weeks ago.
Wow. Well, while you guys were gone, and while Dave was back, getting over his jet lag.
It took a while.
I went to go see that new Halloween movie.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
It was awesome. It just had the right amount of cheesiness to it, right? And a little and right amount of cheesy, 80s cheesy and horror. We ignored. I think there were 11 movies, and I ignored every other movie except for the first one.
Right. So this is correct me if I'm wrong. This is a direct sequel to the first movie, yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
Michael Myers, as far as I know, Michael Myers, isn't being, summoned by some crazy devil cult He's not supernatural. He's not Jamie Lee Curtis's brother, like in the fourth one. Jamie Lee Curtis is alive because she died in the eighth one, I think. Whatever. I lost count. So
I can't remember the plots of any of them at this point.
Yeah.
And I don't think Michael Myers was in the third one.
No, it was a Halloween costume manufacturer, if I'm not mistaken. Some old dude. They said, you know what? The titular villain, the people, the one thing people go to see, the guy in the leather mask that like goes around and kills people. No, we don't need him in the movie.
To their credit, they didn't paint themselves into a corner with the name. I mean, Halloween is pretty broad. They could have gone any direction with it. But people were there for Michael.
Yeah.
So in this movie, Michael Myers is just an old man who is crazy. He's just a serial killer. That's all. He's not supernatural.
Escape from the mental institution, right? The psych ward, and
listen, it's meat and potatoes horror. Okay, nothing crazy, no supernatural, no aliens. He escapes and he kills people. That's it. That's all. All right. So I really liked it. I suggest you go watch it. I really liked it. I gotta say, I gotta say, everyone was asking me, like at work, and it's like, hey, did they leave room for a sequel? They did. I hope they don't, but they will. They will. So as far as I'm concerned, the series is over. Like this right here was all I needed. It was really good, and I hope Jamie Lee Curtis is not coming back for this sequel because she looked really old in this one.
Right.
She just turns up for a check, man.
Yeah, maybe. She's gonna be the next Aliens. Well, listen, I mean, we had Han Solo come back, and now we got Indiana Jones coming back. Indiana Jones is gonna be like 80-something years old.
Dude, Harrison Ford can't. He just can't. He's got to pass the torch.
He tried to
do that already.
Yeah,
he tried to,
well.
and that didn't really go too well. Yeah,
No.
Shy is no Harrison Ford.
He is no Harrison Ford.
I didn't mind him. I mean, granted, Shy has gone off the rails now, but that's a whole other story.
Actually, I think new present day Shia might be closer to Harrison Ford because they're both a little crazy. I think at the time, Lisa.
That's a fair point.
I just want to say, since we're talking about movies, rest in peace. To the Iron Fist and Luke Cage series from Netflix.
Gone too soon.
I know, gone but not forgotten.
Yeah.
And may not really be gone. I mean, there were some cryptic tweets from I think the producer of Iron Fist, where it says Iron Fist will be back. All right. So I listen, we got 2 Netflix series canceled. We don't know what was going to happen with Jessica Jones. We don't know what's going to happen with Daredevil. Daredevil season 3 just came out. You never know, they may get canceled. However, I suspect personally, no inside information here, that Disney has their own streaming service that they're working on. They could be working behind the scenes to get all their properties back just to be on their streaming service. What do you think about that?
I saw a thing about Luke Cage that it was specifically like creative differences because they usually do 13 episodes, and this time like the higher ups were like, just do it in 10. And so they had to do all these last minute rewrites, and they were really unhappy about how they had to like edit it down, and then it went back and forth, and it wouldn't work. And then they were like, well, we're just not going to do it. And so it does seem like the sort of BS that maybe the executives are pulling to try and like sabotage it. But
right, yeah, because why would you not want more content, right? If you can put out 13 episodes, like why not take the 13?
Because Disney wants it. I don't know.
Yeah, they want it in their fold.
But all the reviews for all those Marvel miniseries were it was too long, right? They went too long with their episodes. They should have did it. They could have told a better story if they had between 9 and 11 instead of 13.
Yeah, I do feel like
1 or 2 episodes dragged. Yeah, 2 of the like 1 or 2 episodes sort of dragged the story out too much. So that's from the critics, from a critically, perspective.
I agree with that.
What everyone says.
I think Daredevil held up all the way through season 1, but yeah, almost all the other ones got a little fluffed out. Jessica Jones almost killed that guy like 4 times, and I was
Oh
like,
my
just
God.
hit him. Like, it's done.
The Jessica Jones, I thought it dragged a little bit when she actually, spoilers, caught him and he was in a cage for like those 2 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that dragged a little bit. I didn't think that was necessary. They could have cut that out.
Right.
I didn't really need those episodes. But other than that, I love the series. So,
Right,
but
right.
I still haven't finished Iron Fist season 1. So I haven't watched The Defenders and I haven't watched Luke Cage season 2. So I kind of need to catch up on that before they take it down.
I just finished season 2 of Luke Cage recently, and now I'm getting back on the Punisher so that I can finally watch Daredevil.
Oh, Punisher's great. Yeah, Punisher
Punisher's
is
so
I think
good.
the only Netflix Marvel series that I actually finished for no other reason than I just had a day and I binged all 10 episodes or however many there were.
13.
13. Yeah. It's super solid up until the end. I can tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Oh,
And it definitely sets up a season 2 for sure. Like Punisher's definitely coming back.
So I think they want all their properties to be on their streaming service. And you never know. You might see an Avenger, right? On one of those. Hey, Captain America, he'll make a special guest appearance on one of the episodes of The Punisher or Daredevil, right?
Right. Before
That
he
makes
gets a
sense.
send off in the next Avengers cinematic movie.
Well, I think he'll get his send off, but
think he's
you never
gonna go.
know.
Mhm.
Maybe they'll keep it a
he's
little
gonna
more
go?
low key and just go with Hawkeye.
Oh, yeah.
Skill set fits in a little better.
But he's hanging out in the farm with his wife. He can't come back and save the universe. He's too busy.
Well, yeah, you're
Man's got priorities. Thanos or my wife and kids.
Well, you know what? Listen, Iron Man, he could just show up. He could just show up. Hey, Daredevil, I like your skills, man. I can give you a suit.
I just feel like they don't have the CG budget for that.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Maybe not Iron Man, but maybe just Tony Stark, right? Maybe he makes a special guest appearance.
I'll take it.
I mean, because after this, what else? His contract is up. What else is he gonna do? Right? And he says he doesn't want to go back and do indie films. He wants to do blockbusters. You never know.
Yeah.
So, Dave,
Mm-hmm.
you get any good pickups this week?
I did. I managed to pick up a couple of good things. One of those being Soul Calibur 6. It came
back.
out. Came out last Friday. I think we've all played it now a little bit. So we got some
I have.
time with it. Also on tap, NHL 13 for the Xbox 360 because I got it for super cheap. Couple of games I got because so I have a little story that I can tell you guys. I had to go and pick up my license and credit card from the concert venue a couple days ago.
Wait.
There.
You left your ID.
I left my ID. Yes, I left my ID and credit card behind the bar. I had a tab going. They asked for my ID too. I said, fine, I'm going to be drinking. I had 2 drinks, and in my head, I said, you know what? Get your card and ID. I'm like, no, maybe if you want a 3rd drink, maybe if you want another drink, then your card's on tap, on file, and they can just ring it up for you. Just leave it there. And I ended up leaving early with my friend from the venue with Nick. He's like, do you want to stay for the encore? I'm like, nah, let's go ahead and get out of here. And we both had the mindset of like, let's get in a cab and let's go home because it's damn late. And I left my stuff there. So on Saturday, I had to go back and get it, and it was a fortuitous day because I bumped into some guy having a garage sale, and he had PS1 and PS2 and PS3 games. So I said, okay. I took a look at the stuff. His prices were super fair. We kind of wheeled and dealed a little bit, and out of that, I ended up getting Driver 2 for the PS1, Vigilante 8 for the PS1. Burst Trick Wakeboarding for the PS1. Armored Core 2. Yeah. Armored Core 2, Another Age for PS2. Those 2 games. And 1 or 2 other ones for a real good price. Oh, and Sonic 2 for the Genesis. Your favorite game, Dan. I got a label.
The best
label
Sonic
for it.
game out there.
Yeah, right?
It's not a game you can ever play. Ever.
Only if you play with Knuckles.
Sonic 2 and Knuckles, yeah.
It makes it even better. It just enhances the experience.
Yeah, yeah. So, what did you pick up, Dan? Anything good?
I can tell you in the first time in the history of the show, I'm going to tell you what I didn't pick up, and that's Call of Duty Black Ops 4.
Oh, what? This is unprecedented. This is unprecedented. Joe, if you may not happen to know, but every year for the last 5-6 years,
Yep.
Dan would make it a tradition to pick up Call of Duty because it always came out around Thanksgiving, and he would beat it over Thanksgiving break, and he beat the whole entire single player campaign, and then put it to rest, and then we'd always talk about it on the show and talk about your experience with it. You did not get it this year, and I think I know why, because there's no single player campaign, correct?
There's no reason. There's no reason for me to pick it up.
Oh.
They lost $60. And we're going to talk about it later, and we'll do the news. They gained 500 million, but they lost 60 over here. Okay,
Do you
I
have any alternative campaign plans for the holiday?
Battlefield. Yeah, Battlefield. I can't wait. It better be good. It better be good. I can't wait for it, and it's coming out in November. So, I'm so disappointed. I really am. I hope they can patch in maybe a campaign later, and then I'll buy it. I'm still holding out a little bit of hope. I know. This is like believing in Santa Claus or believing that eggs can actually, bunnies can actually lay eggs. But I'm holding out hope that they will patch in some type of campaign, and then I'll buy it. But I did not buy it for the first time in 6 years. I did not buy a Call of Duty game.
Damn.
But I did pick up Undertale for the Vita.
Nice.
Okay, the special edition. The special edition. I know. I'm still on Vita Island. Just me and Boom Knight. It's just two people now. If Dave ever gets a Vita, he could be on Vita Island with me. He'll see how good the Vita is.
I do need to get a Vita. I have some Vita games that I need to play that I don't have for any other system. So
it's the portable Dreamcast.
It is.
Yes,
it really is.
If I can get it for like sub $100, I'm in. But I haven't seen it less than like 120 or 30.
I like you said, I got Soul Calibur 6 for the PS4. I picked mine up for the PS4 because that's where I like my fighting games. Real quick story. I know I already picked up Mega Man 11 a couple of weeks ago. I didn't pre-order from GameStop the Mega Man 11 Amiibo edition. I know. This is really stupid. I totally forgot. It slipped my mind. I tried to buy it, sold out everywhere. Okay. I go to GameStop. I was willing to go to GameStop anywhere. New Jersey, Connecticut. I wanted to buy this thing because I have the Mega Man Amiibo for 3DS that came out. That's like $200 on eBay right now. Right.
Oh, no way.
Around that price. So I want the Switch Amiibo. I think this is the first, if I can, I think this is like the first bundle with Amiibo for a Switch game, if I'm not mistaken. I can't think of any other Switch Amiibo bundle. I think this is the first.
I think you're right. They have had Amiibo, like all the Mario Odyssey stuff, but you had to buy all that separate.
Yeah, I think this was the first Switch Amiibo bundle. Yeah. So I really wanted it. I found a GameStop in Long Island. They were saving it for somebody who pre-ordered it. The guy didn't pick it up 2 weeks in a row. And finally I called and I was like, you're only supposed to hold it for like 2 days. It's been 2 weeks. And she told me, all right, if he doesn't buy it over the weekend, come in on Monday. So Monday morning I call, he still didn't buy it. I left work early, took the Long Island Railroad all the way to Suffolk County.
Hey, my hometown.
To pick this thing up. And yes, I have a Mega Man Amiibo edition for the Switch.
Nice.
Thank you. So Dave, if you want that co-host discount, I say my Mega Man. I say you Mega Man
Amiibo. That good co-host discount. All right. Maybe I will because I don't actually have it yet. I just had the demo, the digital download demo, and I could use a little more Mega Man in my life. So I may take you up on that.
I picked up the Witcher 2 Assassins of Kings for the Xbox 360. There were 2 versions of that. I have the enhanced version. I have both.
Like the Game of the Year one?
Yeah. So I have that. I didn't know Halo Combat Evolved. which is Joe's favorite game of all time. Didn't know they had an anniversary edition for 360.
Yeah, that was the original one, and then they did Halo 2 anniversary for the Master Chief Collection on the Xbox One, and then put the first one back in there. But
so I have that. I picked that up at GameStop. Astrobot for the PS4. Everyone tells me that it's a killer app for the PSVR. We'll get into.
Joe's been definitely trying to get me to get that game for a little bit, right?
I know I'm like the constant VR pusher for everybody though. Like I'm just like, check this game out. I've got like 50 freaking PSVR games at this point. It's a problem.
But we'll get into it. We'll get into that.
Yeah.
And lastly, I picked up Starlink Battle for Atlas, and there's only one system you should pick this up for, and that's for the Switch to play with.
Of course, it's essentially Star Fox, right?
It is essentially Star Fox meets No Man's Sky, because you do a lot of exploration and sort of the graphics sort of look No Man's Sky-ish, right? So I will say sales figures came out for the UK, and Starlink didn't even make the top 10. It was like number 14.
Right.
But out of all the Starlink games, 80% was sold on the Switch.
Nice.
Power of those Nintendo brands, man.
So just so you know, if you you maybe and then I think it was like maybe 15 on PS4 and like 5 on Xbox. That tells me I should buy a starter kit for the Xbox because because it's not going to be out in the wild in 10 years because no one bought it.
Right.
Yeah. So maybe I go lie. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't mess with the toys or anything like that, but I kind of want to get this. I kind of want to get this started. I kind of want to get some of those toys. I really do. Yeah, I want to mess with. I want to mess with the ship.
That is all you. You know.
I'm not a Toys of Life guy. But I kind of want it.
Right. Like if I can find them for like $5 or less in like a couple years, like all right, I'll get them. I'll have them in the collection. But I know I'm not going to play with them. No,
they're not cheap.
No, not at all. Not at all.
So Joe, what would you pick up?
Well, the only things I've grabbed recently, because I am a grown man gamer who doesn't have
GMG baby,
no.
GMG.
Stuff as
No.
I would
Throw
like.
Throw up your G's, GMG baby.
Stop.
Stretch out my sciatica and throw up my G's. I picked up Mario Party for the Switch, which has been pretty great so far. Very return to form for the classics. Solid. And the aforementioned Astrobot Rescue Mission, which is the best.
Nice. How much is the Astrobot going for? I think I just need to pick that game up.
It's like 40.
30 or 40.
30 or 40? All right.
No,
I think
it's
that's
39.
I think that's definitely something I could swing. Because you guys both have been saying the game is great, and I do love my VR. I have the headset permanently hooked up, so I need something new to play,
I got that super dust on my headset. Where you blow it and it's still dust on it.
Oh my God.
So
many good games. Like what you ended up picking up Moss last week. That's a great game.
Moss is
I know.
You have Wipeout. I bet you still haven't played the VR Wipeout.
I still haven't played The Last Guardian VR.
Oh,
that's like 10 minutes, man.
It's so many wires. It's just so many wires behind my entertainment system, and then I got to set up the camera, and I got to make sure I have room to maneuver so I don't like fall and fall over the couch.
I leave the camera in one spot unless you're playing one of the stand-up not Soul. What am I saying? Elder Scrolls or something like that. Like a lot of these are just sit down. If the camera stays in one place, I just plug in the headset, throw it on, and go and put it back in the closet when I'm done. It's actually great as a grown man gamer. So I'm a little disappointed in you because almost all the games are like between 30 minutes and 4 hours. Like they don't make very much besides Skyrim that goes,
I know.
Yeah, it is. It is like a quick pick up and play experience.
And it probably takes 4 hours to get everything set up. There's so many wires.
Yeah.
It's so many wires.
It is a little crazy. The PS5 really needs to have like VR integrated from the start, which they're gonna.
Yes.
But I mean, it just has to be like single wire coming to the headset, and like that should be it. You know.
All right. So Dave and Joe,
Mm-hmm.
this is the first time I've said this with two people, as we always try to start the show, but epically fail.
Mm-hmm.
What have you been playing, Joe? You know what? Why don't we start with Joe this time? Joe,
Sure.
what have you been playing?
Just my previously mentioned pickups, man. I was just chipping away at some more Astrobot last night. I'm trying to savor it a little bit, so I've been doing. There's 5 worlds, each one with 5 levels. But you can play each level a couple times until you find like all 8 of the little robots and the hidden chameleon thing and such. So I think it probably took me about an hour or 2 to get through like 1 world of 5 levels. So I'm trying to keep it to 1 world per session, but they keep surprising. I'm really enjoying the heck out of it. It's super good. Just like Nintendo level polish. I think that's what people give it the Mario 64 reference. Like it's, I don't know if it's quite as revolutionary, but it's just everything is just polished to a shine. It's just super good.
Is it the killer app everyone says it is?
It's hard for me to convince anyone. I don't know. Like for me, yeah, absolutely. But I know like the people that don't have VR yet are the people that don't believe. So I don't know if like here's what VR is going to be, and it's like a third person like platformer game is like, you know, it's a weird sell. I see how some people see it that way, but I feel like you might be like, oh, I'm gonna play VR. It's going to be all new ways to play, and then you're playing a third person platformer game. Like
Right.
it's
You can
really
just
cool in
end up-
VR, and they do a lot of crazy new things and play with it a lot. Where you gotta like peek around corners to find secrets and stuff. But for me, I think things like Firewall are like what really are like, wow, this is game changing.
Firewall is definitely super cool. There's some odd mechanics in Firewall that I don't really like so much, but overall the game is pretty solid.
Yeah.
You know. Speaking of which, we definitely need to play that game again. It's been a while. It's been a minute.
I think that's the one game I don't have Firewall.
You gotta get it. Well, you have the you
you
got
have
the other game that came with the gun, right, Dan?
Yes, I have the light gun. Yeah.
Yeah. So then it's like $40, even less than $40 maybe now, to get Firewall. It's really good.
Pretty strong community still online from what I've seen. So even if I think we've got like.
Is it a multiplayer game?
Yeah, it's like Rainbow Six Siege, but in
Okay.
VR. So you actually like lean and duck and such. It's super fun.
Yeah. This is like a good maybe 5 or 6 of us that have it now, I think, and we play from time to time. So,
Okay.
But yeah, nice. So, I've been playing some throwback games. The Ogre Battle on the SNES Classic, because I love that game and I don't get sick of it. And every now and again, I just play through the damn campaign again. So I've been doing that. Enter the Gungeon on the go, which is still always fun. That's a good, to quote Dan and Joe, a good GMG game. It's a good, pick up and play game. It takes you like 5-10 minutes to have a full round. You die, and then you just, respawn and do it all again. And
I feel like games that like don't have an end aren't good grown man gamer games. Like
Well-
I need a finish line.
no,
so
it
that I
does.
can
It
be done.
does. It does.
Oh,
I
You
mean,
need to order 1886, baby. That's the
Yeah.
the
only game to be nominated 3 years in a row.
The only game to be nominated 3 years in a row. It is fantastic. Can it do it again for a 4th year? That's the question.
I don't know if it's that good though. I don't know if it's that good
Gotta
in
find-
4 years.
I don't know. May have to retire it in the pantheon of greats. And finally, of course, Soul Calibur 6.
Woo!
That game is
Good game.
well. We'll get into it. We'll get into it in the review roundup. But
why don't we just get into it right now? We all I've been playing it. You've been playing. Joe, have you been playing Soul Calibur 6?
Not as much as I'd like to. But me and Dave got a good few rounds in the other day.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't we just get into it?
Yeah.
I love Soul Calibur 6. I've loved the Soul Calibur series since they were called Soul Blade and PS1.
That's right. I remember that game. That was Soul Blade was great. Kicked off a whole new franchise for Namco.
It was funny for me because like I don't think I ever saw Soul Blade in the arcade, and because I was like kind of a PlayStation hater with my N64,
Ugh.
affiliation. It was just not on my radar. And then the Dreamcast came out, and Soul Calibur was like just mind blowing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I like saw Soul Blade in the arcade, like probably like the next year, and was like, oh,
All right.
I see. But,
Joe's seen the light.
Yeah, I do love that the home version of Soul Calibur is infinitely better in every single way than the arcade version. They had better anti-aliasing. They had better wind effects, upgraded polygons, 3D backgrounds. Like the arcade one just had flat 2D backgrounds, just like Tekken.
back in the day, with my my broke college self, went out and spent like, I want to say either $40 or $50 on the VGA adapter for my Dreamcast.
All right.
Which would actually put out 480p. So it was super crisp on my lovely gigantic 17-inch Dell monitor at the time.
No, I beat it on easy. I beat the arcade mode on easy last night.
Mm-hmm.
And, it was pretty cool. I like the mechanics. I love the slow time, where you slow down and see who can hit first. I love that effect.
That is definitely super cool. I don't know if you can control what goes on during that. Like if it's just like you do a move and somebody else does a move that triggers it, and then they just kind of play out. But
so what I think I understand, and maybe Dan knows better, is it's sort of like a rock paper scissors. So like like kick beats vertical beats horizontal or something like that. So like the initial clash happens, and then it's like whoever picks the right one next, and like sometimes you'll keep clashing, like so like saying like if you both throw a rock, like it'll keep banging until somebody wins.
Yeah, and it'll parlay, all right. You'll just clash out
the parry.
Yeah. I thought that was super cool. I did it by accident. I was like, what the hell is this? Wow. Wow. So I like to play games, Joe. I like to play games. Dave likes to play games hard, super hard, forever hard.
I'll typically start on the hard mode and try and beat it. I am very, very stubborn in that respect.
He is very stubborn.
But I follow through. I finally beat Batman 4 years later, so there you go.
Yeah, where I'm the opposite.
Here lies Dave. He finally beat Batman.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. It's my greatest accomplishment in life. I'm okay with that.
I'm the other way around. I'll beat it on easy just so I can sort of get a feel for the game, and then I'll go back and play it on medium or hard. So I beat arcade mode on easy. So I'm gonna go back and do the story mode on normal. So I want to get into the story because I love video game stories.
Yeah.
Black Ops 4.
Yeah,
I'm kind of an interesting intermediary. I have a tendency to just go with whatever the developer calls normal, and then if it's too easy, kick it up. If it's too hard, kick it down. But I generally just start on the recommended setting and go from there.
Yeah. So I think the I guess we can kind of get into some of the overall reviews and whatnot, right? Overall, pretty positive, mid-80s across the board, right?
Metacritic scores for PS4 and Xbox One are 84. The PC version an 80. So IGN gave it 89. They like the reversal edge mechanic, what we were just talking about. They're crazy about that. GameSpot gave it an 80. Destructoid gave it 85. Game Informer gave it 88. No Forbes review. Why is Forbes? We always like to pull a Forbes review or a Yahoo review.
Yeah,
right?
That's right. Oh, I love the Yahoo review.
Man thinks.
Well, I would love to know what Forbes thinks about Soul Calibur 6. But I did find I didn't even know this was a thing. God is a Geek. They gave it an 85. They thought this was a great game too.
Yeah. There's a couple of things I can say about it. I've now played the mission mode fairly extensively, where you create your own character and then you kind of go off and do like your character's own story, I guess, right? And you travel around America, and you can go on the main missions, or you can go and explore the area for like gold, right? You can spend money and like take a trip to India or to like Greece or whatever, right? And do side missions and this and that. So that's super cool and super long. Like there's a lot of cool stuff in there. And you can get like credits to buy other stuff in the other game modes, which is nice. Story mode's kind of cool too. Like you kind of play like the timeline, right? And as you go through the main story, like different things open up for different characters that happen during like the Soul Calibur timeline of events, which is kind of neat, you know. So there's definitely a lot of meat on the bone there. The character selection is pretty good. There's like 20 some odd characters to choose from, which is, you know, it's down a little bit from the previous games. But you know, the selection they have is good. You know, Valdo's in there, my boy. Yoshimitsu's in there. Talem's in there. Killick's in there, obviously. Cervantes, Ivy. You know,
my boy Mitsurugi.
Yeah. All the fan favorites. So a couple people like Huang. I miss
and that Raphael guy who no one likes. No, I don't.
Oh yeah, no, he is in there. I think. Yeah, I don't know why. It's weird.
You're gonna get hate mail from Raphael fans now.
Yeah. Seriously.
All right, so but I think we both agree, I think all of us agree this is a great game.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I've been playing Soul Calibur 6, but I haven't played it as much as I would like. I really wanted to talk about it today, so that's why I just beat it on easy. But I'm gonna go back and play the story mode or normal. I finally beat Mega Man 11 on the Switch. Nice. It's in the books. I beat it. I beat Dr. Wily. I beat all 8 bots on easy mode and on normal, but I beat the Dr. Wily stages on easy. So right. I don't know if I'm gonna go back. I don't know if I'm a GMG baby. I don't know if I'm gonna go back and beat them on normal.
Well, the ending's the same, I think, right? You're just really bumping it up for the extra difficulty if you want.
Yeah.
So,
but I've been playing the heck out of Starlink Battle for Atlas on Switch. It is the Star Fox game we never got on the Wii U. I got to tell you. So I'm really digging that game. I'm really getting into that game. I really do feel like I'm in No Man's Sky. I feel like Star Fox in No Man's Sky. That's exactly the best way to explain it.
I think it's interesting. Like Ubisoft is sort of like Retro Studios used to be right now. Like they're like not officially Nintendo related, but they're getting really chummy lately.
Yeah.
Well, I actually saw an interview with the creative director for Starlink. What the Game Explain on YouTube, and he basically said when they first showed the game, they didn't have Star Fox in it, obviously, and I think this was at E3 2016, I believe. And Nintendo reps came over, and you know they were super interested in it, and they wanted to play it. And then they kept talking to them about different ideas, and like Nintendo was the one that came to them to talk about how they like how much they like the game. And then Miyamoto got involved, and I guess they wanted to put Star Fox in it. So, and I got to tell you, if you played the Star Fox game on the Wii U with the Wii U pad, and it drove me insane. I just want to use the controller. I just want to use the Pro Controller to play with the R-Wing. And you could do that in this game with some, added boost, and you can actually hyperdrive out into outer space, and you go to different planets. I'm really digging this game. This game has so many different levels to it, so many different layers to it that I'm trying to uncover. I'm about maybe 2 hours in, and I'm doing more exploring than the main missions. So I'm really digging this game. I will say, Dave, for Christmas, you got to buy this game for the
Switch. Why do I have to wait till Christmas? Why can't I
he
get
was
it
going to
now?
buy it for you for Christmas. I thought that's where it was going.
I will take it.
We're not going there.
Yes.
I already listen. Every year we do sort of a gift exchange, right?
We do.
I surprised you I surprised you last year.
Oh my God! Yeah. You wait. You definitely went a little bit bananas. We're gonna have to tamp it down a little bit this year, but
I did go over. I went over budget. I know.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, I know. I went over.
It's all good though. I got you that Germany gift. I got you a ton of doubles that I had that ended up going into your collection. So.
And then I got you, the best cereal you'll never eat in your life.
No. Well, no.
I
You were very smart about that. You brought a little baggie with Fruit Loops, aka Super Mario cereal, or not Fruit Loops, Lucky Charms. Yeah,
Lucky Charms. It tastes
Yeah.
just like Lucky Charms.
yeah,
I
it
know.
legit tastes like Lucky Charms.
Oh man, I'm still looking. I have two versions of that. They have the red box with the amiibo, and then they have it's more like of a green box, I think, like, or a light blue box that isn't an amiibo, and I haven't seen that anywhere. I still haven't seen it, so I've been looking for that. All right, why don't we take a break, and when we come back, we get into the top 10 gaming news of last week.
And in our lead story of the week, amid allegations online, we talk about crunch time at Rockstar Studios involving Red Dead Redemption 2.
And we're back. All right, let's get into the top 10 gaming news of last week. So I mentioned it earlier. I didn't pick up Black Ops 4, and they lost out on my $60. They didn't get my money. All right.
This game is a critical failure. Critical failure.
Yeah. You know what? On the rated G scale, it's okay. Trash, because they don't have a campaign. Trash, because they don't have a campaign. All right. They lost
Lowest
that
rating you can get.
Lowest rating you can get. They lost out on my $60. It's okay though. It's okay. I think they'll manage. Black Ops 4 made over $500 million worldwide in 3 days.
Jesus. Tell me that's a record.
I feel like GTA 4 might still have them, no?
Well,
Yeah.
it may not be a record overall, like for against any other game, but it's a record for Black Ops.
It's best-selling Call of Duty game for sure.
In 3 days, yeah. It was down. I mean, it sold like hotcakes digitally, but in the UK, physical sales were down. So people in the UK agreed with me. Damn it. Okay.
All right.
They agreed with me.
No single player campaign. Yeah, you're not gonna get my money.
But they did break records on Twitch for Twitch views when it came out. So I will say this: it looks like they, no campaign, but sort of their battle royale mode really took away from the PUBG audience, right?
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say.
It's that realistic Fortnite that people have been clamoring for, right?
With current gen good graphics. PUBG is like okay on the graphics department, and they have a ton of bugs.
PUBG still looks like a tech demo. Somebody who's like just learning Unity slapped together. It's not good.
No, it's. I mean, it's eternally in beta. Yeah.
Oh no, it's out. It's out. It's official.
Well, it still feels like it's in beta.
It feels like it's in beta, but it's out. And I even played it on the Xbox One because I actually bought it.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Well, Dan buys everything. I mean, there's nothing stopping him. I mean, I guess
I'm not gonna buy Black Ops 4.
Right. Well, yeah. The biggest thing PUBG had going for it is that it was free. But Fortnite's free too, and they managed to coexist together, and get decent market share and whatnot. But
you can buy if remember, I think right now the rarest PS4 game is Fortnite, the Fortnite physical edition that came out like when it first came out last year.
Do they not make it anymore?
They don't, but they're going to bring it back this holiday season.
Oh, interesting.
Fortnite, the regular game, like, because that's the actual like build a fort and survive overnight game, right? Not like the battleground.
I thought that was the actual Fortnite.
No,
game.
it's all part of the same game. There's just the big mode now that everybody plays is the 100-man free for all.
Well, right, but they patched that in, and that's like the thing that's free to play. Like, I thought that was like a whole separate standalone. Like the PS4 Fortnite. I don't even know if I don't think that's on the disc. Like, they just threw it in afterwards. They were like, we have an engine that runs well. We could do that. Stuck it in there.
Yeah. Well, that game is like $150 right now.
Jesus. Soon to be like $20 if it ends up coming out again, right? You're just going to flood the market again. It's going to be the same SKU and the same packaging, right?
You never know. I hope so. I'll buy it.
Wolf Link amiibo all over again.
Yeah.
I was gonna retire on that.
I got the Wolf Link amiibo.
Yeah, but you and everybody else.
Same. Yeah.
I think I have every. I think I could be wrong, but I think I have like every special edition Wii U like amiibo bundle that came out.
Right. There was at least 6 or 7. I mean,
yeah, and I think I have them all. And I even have the statue for the Toon Link for not Majora's Mask. What was that Toon Link game?
oh, you're
The
talking
Zelda.
about the Wind Waker.
Wind Waker.
HD
Wind Waker.
remake.
Yeah. Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. I even had that GameStop exclusive one.
Vastly underrated game.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Was it? Was it?
What?
Yeah.
What?
No, I mean it's great. I thought everyone liked it.
Not at first.
Not at
No,
first.
there was everyone was like, "What happened to my realistic Link?"
Oh,
What
well,
happened
that
to
was
the tech
before they
demo?
played it. Yeah, that's true. There
You
was
know.
there were some haters on the graphics when it came out. I thought the graphics were great. I just got freaking tired of sailing. That's the only Zelda game I've ever started and not finished. to
Well,
this
they
day.
fixed it. They fixed it in the HD version because everyone
know.
complained about it. So they made it a lot easier. They gave you basically they almost give you a faster sailing cloth to get around, and they made a lot of the fetch quest stuff infinitely easier. There's only 3 pieces of the Triforce as opposed to 8, and it's a lot easier to get to. You know.
I just remember I had to do this thing with the Karoks or whatever, where you like had to sail to like 10 different islands in like 10 minutes or some
Yep.
nonsense. It was super
Yep.
timed, and I failed it like 3 times, and I was like, I'm out. Can't. Like,
Yeah.
So we talked about. I think we talked about either last week or 2 weeks ago, where Fortnite is everywhere. There's going to be a Fortnite bundle everywhere. There's a Fortnite bundle Switch. There's a Fortnite bundle for Xbox One. There's and now Sony has a Fortnite bundle. Right? Like Fortnite, they just want to slap that on everything that they can have, and we're gonna have a physical disc that's coming out. And you know how I love my bundles, and I hate the fact that a lot of these bundles are just gonna have the code.
Mm-hmm.
I hate that. You know, I hate that.
Yep. Digital download saves some money.
Digital download, save some money. Now we have a new Switch bundle that's coming out, right? And it's going to be for Diablo 3. Now, it looks cool. I like it. I've never played a Diablo game. I would never even think to play, but Dave thinks that's my type of game. He thinks I would actually like it.
I mean, yes, it is an RPG, but it is an action RPG, emphasis on action.
yeah, I only played the demo when it came out on Xbox because I was curious on the Xbox One version, I think. And I'm not an RPG person at all. I'm a strong believer that RPGs made sense on the Genesis because you couldn't do real-time combat with like 6 people and a giant monster on a Genesis. But once we had the ability to make graphics and like real-time action work, turn-based just feels silly to me with like HD graphics. It don't make sense.
I know I like Joe for some reason.
That being said,
he's getting brownie points back.
That being said, yeah, Diablo is not like very RPG. It's I mean, you grind and you like level up and get more weapons, but it's very kind of just like a great hack and slash thing. It's pretty fun from what I've played of it.
Well, it looks cool. I mean, the special edition looks cool because they have the Diablo artwork in the back of the Switch, and you have the different colored Joy-Cons and artwork on the dock. But you don't get the game. You don't get the physical game card.
Digital,
you get a digital download.
Yeah, which is sad. But
if you actually got the physical game, I would look to buy this holiday season. I would,
right.
because
Right.
Dave says I should try the game, and I would love to have a special edition Switch. I don't want the Pokemon special edition Switch because I'm not a Pokemon fan. That's just not my jam.
Yeah, same. But I mean, that also does look cool. I like the skins on that and whatnot. But
all right,
fine. Agree to disagree. But
I don't
one
need Pikachu staring at me from my Switch.
You don't have to set it up. You can just put it on the shelf behind you.
Come on, I'm gonna use it. Use it.
You don't. Okay, if you want to, I would just keep it in pristine condition up on the shelf. You know.
I would put it.
I got my little workhorse Switch, the black one. I got that all set up and good to go.
I have 2 docks. All right, so I have 2 docks. I have one for my 60-inch 4K, and then I have one for my 32-inch computer monitor. You know what? I would put that. If I had a third dock, I would put it in the living room. It's like I would use it. So I was actually thinking of buying this until I found out it was only a digital download, and I was like, I'll wait for Smash.
So maybe I'm giving away like $1 million idea here, or like a like $10,000 idea. I don't think it's that great, but like there should be a service to like deal with this. Like you could sell your digital code for like a reduced rate, or pay more actually. So somebody goes out and buys the physical copy and gives it to you, and you can like is there any way to like buy? There must be a way to buy these digital codes cheaper or something. Testing on that.
I think
Steam.
I thought Steam had something like that where you could kind of sell your codes around and whatnot, or transfer them to other people.
Yeah, that's a Steam thing, though. That's for like Steam codes, not
right.
Like
Right. I don't really think PlayStation. I mean, you can gift things to people. You can say like, hey, I want to gift 20 points to you, Dan, or over to you, Joe. Like, I know you can do that, but I don't think if you have a code yet you can like just give it to a different account.
Yeah, no. Well, I mean, it's just a code you got. Like, you just get the slip in the box, so there's no reason you can't just sell that and swear it's unused on eBay and then fight it after.
No, like 100%.
I think the arbitration be a problem.
100%.
I know. I mean, come on, put the game in there. Come on, that's all I want. Just put the game in there.
Yeah. It's a little bit cheap. I agree. I mean,
I am not ready for the all digital world. Okay, I'm not ready for it. I don't want it.
One thing I'll say, one last thing I'll say about it is that if you do get the Switch edition, you can play as Ganondorf. They have a barbarian skin, which is basically Ganondorf, and that's super cool. And that's exclusive to the Switch. Yeah, among other things, I think there's some other exclusive features and some armor sets and whatnot that are only in the Switch edition, which is cool.
Oh, that sounds cool. That actually sounds pretty cool. I'm all, I want to try the game. You told me I'm gonna like it. I take your word. Know what I like. Yeah. I want to try the game. Mm-hmm. All right, let's get into our.
There is a demo on the Xbox.
There's a demo on the Xbox, really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, maybe I'll try the demo on the Xbox. Well, is there a demo on the PS4?
Probably.
I would assume so too. Yeah.
Then I'll try the demo on the PS4. Unless there's a demo on the Switch, I can try the demo on the Switch. I don't think there's a demo on the Switch. I haven't seen it.
Unsure, yeah. Unsure about the Switch.
I haven't seen it. All right, let's get to a lead story. Red Dead's coming out this week. I am prepared to buy it. I am ready. I am ready for this game. I'm ready to play it on my Xbox One X. Dave.
Yeah, of course. You want that. You want those high fidelity graphics. You want to play it on the best system on the market right now. So why would you not get it? Why would you not get it for the Xbox?
I want my Xbox not to collect dust. So I want my Xbox. But there's been some controversy surrounding this game over this thing called crunch.
Yep.
Now, developers, crunch is known. It used to be a badge of honor where people, back in the day said, hey, we worked like 200 hours in the last 2 weeks, right, to get this game out the door. But not in 2018. You can't wear that as a badge of honor nowadays, right? I mean, working crazy hours, probably not being compensated properly, right? Not in this day and age.
I mean, me and Joe can tell you firsthand that the crunch is real. We are both 9-to-5 developers and whatnot. It certainly happens. We are not in the game industry, but late nights are definitely a thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I damn near all software development. It's just any programming. Somebody decides this is the date it's going to be done, and you're like, it's not though, and then it's got to be, and something's got to give somewhere, and it's usually in your free time.
Well, they were one of the co-founders. I think he did an interview talking about how they sort of did crunch right? Towards the end of development cycle of Red Dead 2. And it was sort of like an offshoot comment. It wasn't, he wasn't saying it as a badge of honor. He was just like, hey, we worked like 100 hours in the last like 2 weeks or something like that. And it was just an offshoot comment that people picked up on and just sort of went crazy on the internet, because the internet goes crazy over everything. But then he sort of clarified later on and said it wasn't the actual developers doing that. That was just for sort of like the writing team that did crunch to do last minute rewrites of the story.
I mean, it's a possibility. I don't know how much rewriting you would need to do in most cases. All that stuff kind of, I would assume, the story with Marsden and all that, and the arc, and all that stuff is pretty much like worked out well in advance. You may have some issues with some voice actors and whatnot. Somebody gets sick, they drop out or whatever. Maybe you have to do some rewrites on that, but I don't know. I don't have a ton of experience with it, but it doesn't seem as volatile as like, hey, we have a game-breaking bug, or hey, we need to get this like horse riding mechanic, tuned up a little bit, or someone at the last minute says like, we need to add this into the game and it's going gold in like a week or whatever, right? And then you got to do it because, your higher ups say like, this is what it is and it has to get done. So everybody ends up pitching in. So, I mean, maybe that's true. I don't know. We're sitting on the sideline speculating, right? So,
well, a couple of developers, took to Twitter just to say, they haven't worked, overtime or, 100-hour week, 100-hour work life. That, it's just everybody came to the defense, right? And then people are still sort of speculating, like, hey, is this like something that's, is it a culture at Rockstar of doing crazy crunch with no compensation? I'm gonna play devil's advocate a little bit because I don't work. I'm not a developer. I'm not a programmer like you guys. I'm not in that world. I work a lot of overtime. Sometimes I have to work a 100-hour work week, right? But I am compensated for my time. If I'm not, I don't work for free. I'll tell you that right now. I don't work for free. But if the job needs to get done and I'm the only person that can do it, right? And it has to get done now because it's an emergency, I gotta do it. I gotta roll up my sleeves. I gotta get the work done. If you want the game to come out on time, sometimes you have to crunch, but I want them to be well compensated. That is the catch. I am not an advocate for people to do crunch for nothing. I am not an advocate for people to work for free.
It's also the sort of thing that like you just need to make sure that it's not an all the time thing. Like every game that comes out of studio is always like crunching. Like, and that's the thing for like a long time. It was every game that was just, and still is for most places, I think standard. Like the last month or 2 or 3 is just crazy. I'm not going to see my family for 3 months. Oh well, like they need to try and work on that. So it, like if it happens, it happens, but it shouldn't be standard.
Well, crunch shouldn't be, the last 6 months of a game or 3 months of a game. I can understand maybe a couple of weeks, right? But you should bring in extra people to come in and help, so other people don't have to stay for a 100-hour work week. That's just insane. Yeah, for long periods of time. Again, things happen, emergencies happen, right? Last minute things happen where you have to come in and you got to roll up your sleeves and get it done. But I can't see this being an all day thing that happens for 3 months. It doesn't make any sense.
Right.
And then they must be, again, I take it back to this. They must be well compensated for their hard work.
Yeah.
It can't be implied if you don't stay late, which, you don't have to, that you will be, penalized for. If you stay late, you will be compensated. I can't stress that enough. I don't want to be misconstrued in any way.
Right. No, and I think that's. Well, sorry. Go ahead, Joe.
But I was gonna say what we've taken to doing at my company actually, which I've appreciated, is it got to be standard whenever we were like launching a new product. It would always be like the last like week or 2 was just crazy. So what we've started doing is like we've got like real accurate trends, and if things look like they're not gonna make it on time like at all, we'll start doing like once a week a late night or twice a week, Tuesdays and Wednesdays when nobody's doing anything and it's okay, and like plan ahead for it to try and like spread the crunch early and like avoid it at all costs so that you don't end up with just like that solid block of misery at the end, which is it's been a much better way of handling it.
Yeah. We've definitely kind of employed that at my company too a little bit, and I think like one thing that we do different with like games, because games usually you work up until it goes gold until they're going to press the disc and then it goes out, and then I mean I guess you're still working on like the day one patch, which is guaranteed for this game. There's going to be a day one 2 gig patch that comes out that's going to fix like a ton of issues.
This game is 2 discs, by the way. Back to the old school. This is just dual disc.
Seriously?
Yeah, it's the dual disc.
So single Blu-ray disc, 25 gigs. This is over 25 gigs of installation data.
Oh, that's not surprising. I mean, we've been getting like 100 plus gig games for a little while, but I mean, like, did we never get that whole double layer Blu-ray thing working? Like, or are they just too cheap to like?
I just don't think they wanted to pay for it, and nor did they ever really need it. 25 gigs seemed to be enough for the installation files for the game and all that, and then you just download it, unpack and download to the hard drive, and the hard drive would take the brunt of it, I think.
I guess as long as it has everything. I mean, it's better than those games where you get like the disc, put it in, and it's like, and now I'm going to download everything else that's not on here. Like,
yeah.
Just so you know,
I think we talked about that. Spyro was going to be like that. Only one game on the disc, and you have to download the other 2. And then
and then they delayed it to change that.
Yep.
So, it's 2 disc. You need 105 gigs of hard drive space to install.
Yeah. 1/5 the standard hard drive of a PlayStation or original Xbox. Insane.
Not counting what the OS takes up.
Right. Right. So get your storage ready.
But shortly after all of this transpired, Rockstar did issue a statement that they are changing their crunch culture, right? That they're going to try to get this out and not have crunch in any at all, period. So that's good. So at least, we don't know if they did do crunch on this game, but it looks like going forward, they're going to try to, sort of weed this out of their culture. Mm-hmm. Just like Sega. Sega actually came out with a statement saying that they've eliminated 80% of their overtime hours as they have a war on crunch, and they've started this war on crunch in 2013, and they said that 100% of overtime and crunch hours will be eliminated by 2020.
Good on Sega. Good on Sega. I don't think you can ever eliminate it because you never know, but I mean, like getting reasonable deadlines in there, like, is the first step, And if the game's not on track to do well, like, you need to right the ship and readjust your course, And it seems like Sega's doing that,
Well, we know Xbox doesn't do that. Microsoft doesn't do that because Crackdown still ain't out.
No.
They're not crunching though. They just keep pushing back that deadline.
Yeah. Someday we'll get our Crackdown.
That's the thing that'll be interesting to see if Sega is actually willing to like just delay things all the time if they're not done. Just be like, oh well, sorry, because that's the reason all this happens is everyone spends a ton of money on marketing and advertising. You got all these dates on trailers, and then they're like, just kidding, it's a month later. Like,
yeah,
they don't want to pull the trigger on that ever.
Well, that's why we have Christmas too, right?
That's right. That lovely March month. Christmas.
Well, it's not even March month. It's just spring. Right.
Well, sure. Yeah. I guess from like late February to like end of April, we get this resurgence of AAA games that couldn't make it for the holiday season. Christmas one, as I like to call it.
Oh my God! Stop!
Christmas. Okay.
It is just Christmas.
Okay. You can't have Christmas 2 without Christmas 1.
Yes, you can.
Otherwise it'd be Christmas 1.
No, it doesn't make any sense. Listen, they did not call it. They didn't call it Halloween 1. They call it Halloween.
Because they didn't have a second one out. Once the second one comes out, the first one is known as number 1.
No, this is not Xbox.
No. The only time that's ever happened was Star Wars. because that wasn't episode 4 when it came out.
Oh, they retcon. That's right.
Otherwise,
they retcon the whole damn thing.
no,
'cause it did
no
so
one's
well.
ever relabeled the previous one with a number. I don't think that's a thing.
Yes, it's not.
Which
it
is your
it's Christmas.
favorite Halloween movie? Oh, I like Halloween 1. Yeah,
No,
that's
no.
perfectly valid.
No, I just like the first one.
Yeah, exactly. You're calling it the first one. It's Halloween 1.
Referring to it as Halloween 1 in the context of which one we're talking about, I guess.
Well,
makes
there you
sense.
go. You need to differentiate
Like, that's
between
only,
Christmas and Christmas 2. Christmas 1, Christmas 2.
No, I just like Christmas, and then we have Christmas too.
There's like 18 Halloweens and like 2 Christmases, and there's not really 2 Christmases. Feel silly even saying that, but
Listen. If you guys are championing to make Roman Gamer a thing, and Dan has been for the last 3 years, I am taking my stand with Christmas 1.
Let me ask you a question. What gaming consoles came out in 1995?
What gaming consoles came out in 1995?
Yeah.
I don't know. The
95.
32X maybe?
the PlayStation.
3DO? The PlayStation 1?
Wait. What? No,
PlayStation 1?
he wasn't doing it.
The PlayStation 1? Huh?
No, the PS1
What games
came
did
out.
I pick up? Did I?
They specifically called it that.
Yes.
That was the PS1. It's different.
Yes. That is different. I caught you.
It's different.
You're done.
The PS1 ONE is the tiny one that came out later.
Yes,
The
it is
original
called
one was
the
just the
PS1.
PlayStation.
Yes.
Would you say, oh, I picked up God of War for the PlayStation? You would say no. I picked up God of War for the PlayStation.
He makes a
Or
valid
for the
point, Danny. I'm
PlayStation
pretty
4.
sure I heard you say PS1 several times earlier.
Yeah, I was talking about the little one. I was talking about the little one.
No, PS1. Yes, PS1, the original PlayStation.
I was talking about the little one. I only play PS1.
Fan.
I only play.
The PSONE was a very specific one. It is still PlayStation 1.
No,
Sorry.
no.
PS1,
You know,
PS2.
listen, Crash Bandicoot series was great on the PlayStation. That's all I say.
All right, if you want to waste the extra syllables on it, by all means, go ahead. I am going to call it the PlayStation 1 that I got for Christmas 1 way back in the day.
It was pretty good on the PS1 when I play it on the little one. Yeah, you're right, because I have the screen and everything. But no,
Like
the
Crash Bandicoot,
PlayStation.
we have gone way off the rails here.
Just saying. He irks me with the Christmas one. It doesn't make any sense.
It is. The Christmas 1, Christmas
might
2.
be
Electric
blasphemous.
Boogaloo. Come on now.
No.
Well, look, I think we can all agree that the second Christmas, we are happy that it's a thing, and it allows AAA games to not be released early and to thrive in the springtime when we would normally get no games.
I'm just gonna call it the spring game season.
The spring games.
No.
You
You
can't
gotta
market
no.
that. You can't market that.
No. You got to call it Spring 1.
No, because there's no spring 2.
It will be. It will be.
When? Well, until
don't
that
know.
time, it is just known as spring.
No. It's Spring 1.
All right, you can go ahead and act a fool and go ahead and call it spring 1. No one's gonna know what you're talking about.
Yes, they are. They're gonna know it's spring. Spring 1.
Oh.
All right. Let's get back on the rails. All right. Let's continue to talk about. Let's continue to talk about Sega.
Uh-huh.
All right. So I love the Genesis one.
No, there's no Genesis 2. Well, there's a Model 2.
Well,
There
you
is
know what?
actually
You know
Genesis 2.
Well, it was a Model 2. Model 2, Model 1, yeah.
Okay. But well, Joe, you said you were a Genesis kid. All right.
Mhm.
All right. Now we all can't be perfect, but it's okay. I still like you.
If your console didn't have a volume slider and a headphone jack, I don't even want to hear from you.
I think was that the only console that had both of
That's
those
the
things?
That's the only console.
Yeah.
We put that on controllers and headsets now, and people think it's innovative. I'm just
Little do they know. The Genesis 1 was a trailblazer.
Well, now you can play Genesis games in HD without a Retron 5. They actually have the Mega SG. This comes from the same people who made the Super NT and the NT, which was crazy expensive.
Yeah,
it was like
analog.
$600. The analog
Analog.
NT. Yeah. That was like
Analog NT.
$600.
They make the best stuff. This is great because I don't know if you. I mean, we've definitely talked about the different iterations of the Sega consoles made by At Games. They're never great, They
80
always
games.
have
Thank you. 80
tons
games.
of filler in there. Yeah.
Oh.
This is like legit. I mean, it looks really nice. It's got an awesome 6-button controller, standard. 1080p output, HDMI in the back, all the filters and scaling and whatever that like you could want that you come to expect from the Super NT and the original analog NT Nintendo system.
But
And-
the coolest thing is you can plug your Sega CD in on the side.
Mm-hmm.
What
If you have one that works. If you have
You
one
have
that
to have
works.
the side version, or does the first version work?
I think the first version still works because it was still sliding in on the side. You still had the side, right? Because you had that piece that went up.
The first one was like a stack. Like
There was
wire-
one that went
the
underneath.
first Genesis.
No.
sat on top.
No, it sat on top, but it still slide on the side. It was. I have both. I have Model 1 and Model 2. I'm looking at it right now.
Mm-hmm.
There was a
It
little
has
piece.
the little side connector for it. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
you're talking where it plugged in. I got you.
Mhm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Actually,
that's awesome.
I actually like Model 1 better than I like Model 2, but that's just me. I know.
We're looking.
I'm in a
Wi-Fi
minority.
stereo equipment.
Mhm.
Joe, we're in the minority. That's
Mhm.
okay. But that's the coolest thing. I can plug my if you have a working one because it's hard to find one that actually worked.
Yeah, those things notorious for breaking down.
I know.
Lasers always go, or the belt.
I have 4 Sega CDs.
Damn.
I have 4.
And none of them work, right?
This man
No.
loves Super Shark.
No, I really did. I really did love Super Shark. Actually, it was the only game I had for a while.
My first girlfriend in high school had a Sega CD, and man, I've spent so many hours shooting those weird sewer rats and getting yelled at by that fat dude with a cigar. Like, it was not a good game, but
Oh man. Yeah.
well,
It
actually,
looks
I have.
cool.
Well, the Model 1 works. I have a
Mhm.
Model 2 that I don't know if it works, and I have a Model 2 that actually doesn't work. And then I have the X. I have the one that
Oh, the
looks like a
CDX.
CD.
oh, you got the CDX?
I do.
Mhm.
I do. I
Oh,
treated
wow.
myself last Christmas.
Mhm.
What did that end up running you?
Enough. Enough. I could have brought another special edition 3DS. But and I got a good deal actually. I got a good deal. He gave me a good deal because it came in a bundle of a bunch of games, and I got Ghouls and Ghosts for the Genesis in box,
Nice.
pristine condition.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
So how much is this puppy gonna set us back? That's the question.
it'll set you back the same amount of money as set me back for the X,
Mhm.
almost $200. It's weird that it's $190 and not $189.
Right. That is like kind of odd, or not even like $199. Like why not just go right for the 200 mark?
Because I think they want it to be cheaper than like a
Mhm.
3DS, right?
Mhm.
Mm.
Right?
Yeah.
It's all mental when it comes to marketing, right? It's
Right.
like, hey, you could buy this. This is cheaper than Nintendo 3DS.
Yeah, right. They can kind of position themselves with that. Well, I'm glad it's only 190 because the original NT, I think you mentioned it briefly before, was $600.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it is like the gold standard. It does play Famicom games as well as Nintendo games, and it had 4-player control ports built in. Had a lot of really nice things, but yeah, it was pretty expensive.
And
I'm not most up on this. That's the one that like was all like metal and like all monolithic looking.
yeah, that
Yeah.
was the one that was.
And it came in a gold variant too, like a gold dip variant, if you wanted to like blow it out of the water.
Classy.
And that's why I brought the AVS
Mhm.
because it was only $180.
Mhm.
It was around this time. It's around the same price, and that's $600.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I'm a little disappointed. Like, I know it's completely ridiculous to worry about it for 16-bit games, but I feel like anything coming out now should maybe be 4K at this point.
Yeah, no,
Mm.
you're absolutely correct.
Right. Just add the upscaling. Yeah.
Maybe get that Atari ACS or what is it called? I don't even remember what it's called.
VCO. You mean the VCS?
VCS, yeah.
Did it ever launch?
It's still not out yet. They were having
The pre-orders. They'll be out. I think it's coming out next year.
and it's like $300 too, which is insane.
And the CEO still has no idea how it works.
Yes.
we just put some Android in a box and tried to sell it to people.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it look, the wood grain on that thing, fantastic on the Dave scale. But I am not paying $300 to
I'll
play
get you some contact
Centipede.
paper at Walmart.
Yeah.
You can put it on on your Raspberry Pi. It'll be fine.
Uh-huh.
Come on, Dave. You don't want to play Centipede in 4K?
Nah, I'm good.
Oh my god, you can fit so many centipedes on the screen.
Yeah.
The detail on the centipedes is going to be
Oh,
bananas.
Yeah. Crisp AF.
All right. So we talked about at length February 22nd, right? That is now Christmas too.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
It happened last year with October 27th as Media Blitz Day. All the games came out.
And Stranger Things too.
And yeah, Stranger Things season 2, all on the same
So,
day.
well, we had Anthem, Crackdown 3, and Metro Exodus coming out February 22nd, and we had Days Gone coming out February 22nd. I thought everyone would go crazy over Anthem, right? Because that's Iron Man meets Destiny, right? That is essentially what that game is, and everyone's going crazy over that. So I thought, that Anthem is going to win that day, hands down, in my opinion. I think Days Gone could have been a sleeper hit for that day, because I think Crackdown 3 just lost its steam, and Metro Exodus, people are curious about it, but I mean, we've had that sort of open world, I mean, we've already played Fallout. We have Fallout this year that's coming out.
Yeah, Fallout 76 coming out soon.
Yeah, we've had that, the world's end, and you have mutant monsters coming attacking you. So we've had that already. So I thought Days Gone would have been in good shape. However, maybe Sony Bend doesn't feel that way. They need a little bit more time to polish. They're not going to crunch to get it out February 22nd. Now they delayed it to April 26th.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's smart. Maybe they partially felt like, hey, we're going up against like 3 other AAA titans. Maybe we need a little bit of breathing room to try and make up some of those sales numbers. Because you got to figure like people aren't going to buy all 4 games. They will buy 1, maybe 2.
Speak for yourself, Dave.
Well, yeah, I mean, not everybody's a Dan Robinson though.
Aren't gonna buy.
Speak for yourself, Dave. I'm buying I bought all 3 games.
Well, yeah, I mean, you have them all. You have them all pre-ordered to GameStop right now. I know you.
I know.
But, I mean,
you know why?
everybody else
You know
is
why?
like that.
You know why? Screw Amazon, and they're not doing my 20% off pre-orders anymore. Sorry, had to say that. Go ahead.
Yeah. But yeah. I mean, I think it's a good move. No.
No, listen. April has been really good to Sony, right? You have Uncharted 4 did a killing in April. God of War this year did a killing in April.
Yep.
So Days Gone could do, theoretically, if they don't announce the PS5, theoretically, Days Gone could do really good in April, right? So I'm sort of sad because I kind of wanted to see how it would go up against Crackdown 3, right? I wanted to know, because I think Crackdown 3 is the odd man out, right? I think that they're not going to do as well. I think they really should move, to be honest. Let Anthem and Metro Exodus go at it. But
yeah, seriously.
Yeah, it's tough because I don't know, Days Gone looks awesome, but it also feels a little samey to a lot of other survival things. At least Crackdown's kind of unique, but I just don't think it has the pull. I just don't think people are like, oh my god, I love Crackdown so much, I can't wait. It's just
but Days Gone is an interesting take on that genre, right? Because now you can sort of use the horde of zombies to your advantage.
Yeah,
right.
It's definitely got some unique gameplay spins on it, but
you need your motorcycle to sort of canvas and travel the world, and you need fuel. It is not unlimited fuel like in Star Fox. I have unlimited fuel to fly anywhere I want to go.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
You actually need to make sure you are watching your fuel gauge, or you won't be able to. You're going to be traveling by foot.
It feels a little like Fallout, running around scavenging for stuff and whatnot, getting your supplies together, with a tad bit more action because you have the zombie horde coming after you. But
there is no one way to skin a cat, right? There's no one way to complete a mission. You can do it stealth. You can do it guns blazing, as I prefer, or you can do a mixture of both. But overall, I think it's good for Days Gone. right? Because I think this is sort of its second delay.
Yeah.
I don't think it's been like Crackdown delayed 3 times. But anyway, Sony, they're on a roll right now, right? They canceled PSX, which I'm kind of disappointed because we thought we were actually going to go to PSX maybe this year.
It would have been nice. Would have been nice.
We're gonna get, we're gonna be able to change our PSN names. Thank you.
Welcome to 2009, guys.
All right. Yeah, whatever.
2009.
This is not a problem for me, as I have been on these services way too long and have the exact username I want. I do empathize with all of the later joiners that have like 17 X's in their names. That's
the cloud separate 777s.
Mm-hmm.
Well, lucky you, Joe. Lucky. Okay, all right. I had to settle for classic 700 instead of 777, like everywhere else.
Very, very quick aside. Hopefully, I just will throw out there that I have had Xbox Live since 4 days before it launched, because some foolish Best Buy employee sold it to my girlfriend at the time when it wasn't even out yet. So I was just sitting there with a headset and a disc, and there was an Xbox waiting for him to flip the switch.
That's right.
That's funny.
Yeah, I feel like I'm probably in the first like 100 people to sign up for Xbox Live accounts.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. I got one of those. I got a thing when I was working at EB because I was the only one who had an Xbox, and it was a free. I guess it was a year of that service, but I didn't really have good internet. I didn't really get to use that code till like 2005, to when like Halo 2 came out. So, yeah. And then there was a lapse in my service, so I didn't get the 10-year bonus like you got, sadly.
I didn't get it either. I don't even know what happened. I wanted to contact support and complain because I did not get the like special "you've been on since day one" thing, and I was like, man, I've had this since 3 days before launch. Like,
yeah, right? You had it longer than anybody else.
Avatar.
You've had your account activated longer than anybody else. That's
You've
crazy.
You've been gypped. You should have got your prize.
Yeah, weird.
All right, but there was an issue with there was some issue with sort of PSN sending messages, some weird messages being sent, and we thought they were bricking systems, but they weren't really bricking systems. They were just sort of
for setting,
yeah, give them a crash loop.
Yeah.
You can go into your if you actually have the PS Mobile app, you can go in and delete all the messages and boot your PS4 in safe mode and use option 5. Now, I didn't have to boot it in safe mode. I did go in, and I'm not gonna lie, there were some porn sites hitting me up on PSN for some reason. I don't know. They usually do it randomly, and I delete them.
They just wanted to be your friend, Dan.
They just wanted to be my friend.
Some sexy singles in your area looking to play Fortnite. Nothing weird about that.
Nothing wrong with that.
But I do have the app on my iPad, and I went in the app, and I don't know what message is the bug, but I deleted all the messages. If you weren't Dave or my friend Brian, who's a fighting game fan, we gotta have him on the show one day. Mm-hmm. I deleted all of those messages, and then when I booted up PlayStation, my PS4, downloaded I think the 6.2 update, which sort of fixes all of that. It took a while to download and install, so that should be done. So, Dave, I don't know when was the last time you actually dusted off your PS4, Mr. Xbox guy, but
dude, I was playing Soul Calibur on the PlayStation 4.
Oh, you have a PS4? I didn't know that. I didn't know you had
I got the PS4. You were not paying attention earlier in the show.
You didn't say it. You didn't say you had it for the PS4. I said I had it for the PS4.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no. I got the PS4 version. Yeah.
Any sexy Fortnite girls, people hit you up?
I do not have any of those weird messages on there.
So they just want to be my friend. They don't want.
Yeah, I guess so. They just want your credit card information.
Okay, all right. I hope they get this fixed before, I hope they won't have any more issues like this when we get the PS5.
Yeah, they've had numerous issues with their online service.
Oh my God! Remember when PSN was down during the PS3 ever? It was like down for like.
I remember that. Yeah, when everybody.
That was a.
Yeah, everyone had their passwords stolen because they didn't encrypt the passwords. Because why would you need to do that?
Hey, listen. We're not a software company, okay? We make cool looking things.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah,
All right.
Microsoft has been failing hard on the first party exclusives, but they still kill it on the Surface.
Yeah, it is a very nice platform.
Joe, I said last week, if we can make the perfect video game company, Sony would make the hardware, Microsoft would make sort of the UI, and Nintendo would make the first party games.
Yeah, that's definitely what everybody wants out of each of them.
So they all have their strengths and weaknesses, right? So for the PS5, I don't want a PlayStation Switch. I'll be honest, I really don't. I want them to bring out the Vita 2. Damn it, or the PSP 2.
All alone on Vita Island, just waiting for that care package to come down.
I am waiting for the care package.
PS Vita 2.
I'm waiting for that PS Vita.
Look. I want that to happen too. I'm just a realist about the situation. And Sony hasn't talked about it. There's no rumors about it. I'm not trying to get myself hyped up for it.
Well, let's be honest. They're going to call it the Vita. They're going to call it the Vita. If anything, they would call it the PSP 2, right?
Right, yeah.
Well,
Right. I don't want to distance themselves.
So there were early rumors about the PS5 sort of being like a competitor of the Switch, so it'd be like a PlayStation Switch. I don't want that. Please don't do that. Just give me something that's not the Switch, because the Switch is the Switch, right? However,
the closest thing you might see is like, and I've heard rumors about Microsoft doing it, and I wouldn't be surprised if Sony pulled the same. Is like there will be like the proper expensive fancy console you buy for home. But there might also be like the cheapo streaming box that just works like on Live or PS Now, where you just like play the stream games, and that could totally be like way low spec portable. Yeah, especially if we ever get this 5G network launched.
Right.
No,
they wouldn't really need much. They just need like a Ethernet and something to process the image, send it out to the TV, right? And some sort of controller interface. That's it.
That actually, well, I don't want that either, because that's one step closer to it. That's one. You know what? Give me the PlayStation Switch then. That's because that's
between the two options. Yeah,
because that's one step closer to the digital world that I don't want to come.
Right. I mean, it's the inevitability, but like the next generation after that, or the one after that. Oh boy.
I mean,
I don't want that.
I'm not a hardcore collector, but I feel like you guys might. I mean, if I was in your position, I would almost be like looking forward to the day when there just weren't any more physical games. So I could be like, all right,
I
could just get the old ones and have like a finish line. I
have an end goal.
That's what I need.
Well, I don't think they'll ever disappear. I know we're getting to the side note. I don't think they'll ever disappear. I think they will be special editions. Right. I think there will always be limited run type game companies out there who will put out special editions for either systems we already have, old systems, right? Or we'll get special edition. They'll have it'll be like a streaming box where you can plug in sort of like you can plug in the CD part, and you have a special edition where you have a physical disc or a cart in Nintendo's case. I can see that happen.
Whatever it is.
A peripheral. I could see that. And I want that. Please don't. I don't think we're ever gonna hit the 100% digital life. Maybe 90%, but not 100%. There'll still be 10% for old guys out there. While we're still kicking.
And people out in freaking Utah.
but the PS5 is coming soon. We know this. All the rumors say the next generation consoles, right? Late 2019, maybe 2020. I think we're going to see it early 2020.
Yeah.
But there was a job description on LinkedIn for Sony that referenced sort of they're looking for someone to run their new campaign for the next generation. Right? They're gonna pretty much own the roadmap for the next generation PlayStation. That tells me PS5 is a little bit closer than we think. However, I don't think. I mean, they canceled PSX this year because they have nothing to show. I am super curious about what they would show at E3 this year. Right? I mean,
E3. I think 2019 to be the reveal.
Next year
has to be the teaser reveal.
But like reveal for like 2020 release or reveal for that. Yeah.
No. We're probably a reveal for the 2020 release. They're not going to do what Nintendo did and wait till the last minute to unveil it so nobody could steal their ideas. I think I would say mic drop moment, end of the PS conference would be the PS5 teaser. And that would kind of line up with this ad on LinkedIn, right, to get the marketing in there and whatnot, because it takes time to put a whole campaign together. It takes time to decide on here's the route we want to go. This is the message we want to send for PlayStation, right? And then they have to go out and coordinate it, film it, and then get all the spots ready and all that.
Here's where I disagree.
Mm-hmm.
Historically, they haven't come out and announced a console for next year, right? Microsoft did that, but
Xbox One X.
Yeah, Microsoft did that, but they, it was sort of like we didn't know anything about it really, right? It was 6 teraflops, and it's it was Project Scorpio, right? And
I feel like I knew about the Ultra 64 for a long time. I'd have to go check dates, but I don't know if
I don't know if it.
I mean that was definitely. I think you're right about the Ultra 64 was their code name or whatever.
I feel like you usually got about a year lead before.
Well, Sony
comes out.
Sony has
6 months is fast.
Well, Sony historically hasn't done it, right? Like we heard about the PS4.
I heard about the
early.
We're looping back around. The PS2 was being hyped up when the Dreamcast was out, and that was a full year before the PS2 came out. That's why I'm bitter about Sony.
Well, that's true. But if you go to recent history, they sort of had a press conference announcing the PS5, early 2013. They didn't show you how it looked. They didn't show you. We knew specs. That was about it.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like in February of 2013.
Right.
And then at E3 in June, we actually got the chance to see the system and hear about the games. And then they came out in November of 2013. So we heard about it.
Yeah.
It was announced, and then it was released same year.
Mm-hmm.
So I think if they do it in E3, if they announce PS5 in E3, what games are going to come out next year this time, right? Like, are we going to get that Kojima game, or is that going to be a PlayStation 5 launch?
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I feel like that's still current gen.
So I just don't. I can see them releasing maybe PS5 in Christmas 2. Not Christmas.
Not at Christmas 1, no, Christmas 2. Really?
Well,
I think they take the Nintendo route and eschew the holiday season.
Well, Nintendo has proven that you can sell consoles in March. If you have the software to go with it.
Yeah, they are also Nintendo though. I mean, they had a lower price point system
and
and
they
it
were
was
launching
$300.
with Breath of the Wild. Like I no matter how hard Sony's first party teams try, I don't think they're coming out with Breath of the Wild day one for PS.
No, they need like a new God of War. They need like a new God of War to go with that system, or a new Uncharted game.
No, they got the best game to come out with it. It's gonna be the Order 1887.
Not Knack 3.
Oh, if they go hard with Knack 3 and they're like, nah, we can do our own Breath of the Wild. It's gonna be Knack.
7 million tiny little gold pyramids now.
Knack is gonna wake up and not remember who he is.
Yeah. Think about the compute power. So many polygons.
I'm curious to see how Microsoft handles it. Like with the One X and the Pro being staggered, I wonder if Microsoft's going to be willing to pull the trigger that fast, or if they're going to hold off till 2021 again and get back to the alternating years thing.
Right.
I don't want them to rush. We're good with these systems. Don't rush.
Yeah.
All right. I think Nintendo rushed it out. It makes sense though why they did it, because the Wii U was just an epic failure.
Yeah. And I don't think Microsoft's in a position of. Microsoft really just has to get good games out there. I don't think the hardware is necessarily the problem.
As a big PSVR fan, that's my biggest concern if Sony comes out too fast, because I want them to launch the new VR with the new system and make it like a big thing early on. Although not like Microsoft did with the Kinect, but I worry that maybe the VR tech hasn't advanced quite enough in the last few years to like warrant the jump just yet. So Very curious to see how they end up handling that. If there's a new version for launch, or if it's like a year after. Don't know.
Joe, you will get your prayers answered. Okay. Well, you may not get that prayer answered, but you may get a prayer you didn't even think that you even wanted to be a prayer. All right. So they're going to stop free games for the Vita in March. I think, and I think, yeah, they're going to stop free games for the PS3 and Vita, I think, in March. I think they need to come with two free games every month for the PSVR and the PS4. That's what they're going to substitute it with. Right, because they need something to replace that and get people hyped about PSVR. If I get free games, right, I would be incentive to dust this thing off. And actually, I got to hit it with some pledge because it's really dusty.
It hasn't been for a couple months, but in the past, like last year, they were doing a pretty decent job of like one of the PS Plus games, like every other month, was something at least that had like a VR mode or something, but
they need to put out dedicated video game. They need to put out dedicated video games out
like
every
exclusive
month.
VR games or something as like a way to bridge the gap. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I would 100% be all about that, and it would incentivize people to say, oh, if I buy a VR system, I can get a free game every month. That's like a free VR title or whatever. I don't care what it is. Like I'll jump on that. You know?
Well, they keep announcing over 100 games, right? Why? Why announce all these games?
Right.
Well, now you have games to give out for free. You have games to give out for free, right? So it may not be the killer app, but you have games that you can give out every, two. Right now, we get 2 games for PS3, 2 games for PS4, 2 games for the Vita. So if you stop the PS3 and stop the Vita, you just get 2 free games for PS4 and 2 free games for PSVR. I think it's worth it, personally.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. PlayStation.
See, there you go. The PS1, Jesus.
The PlayStation or the PS1. I have both. PS2, PS3, PS4. This guy named Hakim Karim will get the PS5, and he will continue his world dominance, his world record of platinum trophies. This man is incredible. This man has over 1,700 platinum trophies.
That is ridiculous. You know how many platinum trophies I have?
The same amount of the same amount of Vitas you have.
That's right. Yeah, it's a big fat goose egg. I got 0, and I am damn proud of it.
You know how many platinum trophies I have, boy? You know how many trophies I have?
I think you have a couple.
I have 3.
Yep.
And they're all Telltale games.
Those don't count.
They count.
Choose your own adventure games.
I had to make sure I had
went through each story branch.
Congratulations.
I had to make sure I finished the story. Damn it.
Well, good on you. Good on you for doing that. I gotta go pick up some of those Telltale games while I can and get some of those platinums.
If you bought them a few months ago, those people might still have jobs, Dave.
Yes, Dave.
Oh,
yeah. But this guy, just some notable games. He platinum Max Payne 3, Horizon Zero Dawn, and most impressive, Dark Souls.
Mm-hmm.
This man is grown, but he's not a grown man gamer.
He has
way too much time. He has way too much time.
He has a kid too. He has a like a newborn kid. So he's making it work somehow.
Did he win the Mega Millions? How does he live?
Maybe.
I don't know. know.
Maybe.
He has really good time management.
All right. Last news story of the week. I thought this was pretty cool. I want these. Paul George, he's a basketball player. He plays for Oklahoma City Thunder. He's a big gamer. He's part of that Nike brand, and he actually had some PlayStation branded sneakers that came out, I think earlier this year, right?
Yeah, that's right. They were like black ones, and they had the little ringlets where the laces went through, where the 4 different colors of the face buttons. Look really nice.
It looked really nice, and it was sold out like in 5 minutes. So if you want to get a pair, you're gonna pay a couple $100.
I tried to get them day one, but no, it just wasn't happening.
You could listen. you can go buy those, or you could buy Super NT. You know, pick which one you want.
So the only people that are like camping out for new things more than gamers is sneakerheads.
Yes.
Yep.
They're always outside the Foot Locker.
That's right.
Yeah. But he's coming out with a new. He's coming out with a new brand of sneaker, and they're not called the PS1s, Dave. Sorry, they're called the original Sony PlayStation.
Nah, it's way too long. It's a mouthful. I just call them the PS1s, just like the Air Force ones, right? Got my PS1s.
I got my PS1s.
Yeah, so these are like the original gray color, like the PlayStation 1. It has the PlayStation logo
and
on
the
there.
original PlayStation.
Yeah,
PlayStation
it has the PlayStation 1 logo on the tongue, which is kind of nice. White soles, and a Velcro strap too, you know, for that throwback look, I guess. They look super cool. I will probably never own a pair, and that's fine.
I gotta be honest. If I did buy these, I would never wear them. They would be a part of my. They would be a part of my collection,
right? You know, because as soon as you step outside, they're already gonna get scuffed.
You can maybe
there's no color back.
Like where it's.
I would wear it one time.
You know, one photo for Instagram.
Oh yeah. Wear them inside the house. You know, make sure the floor is mopped, clean floor. Take a snap.
Yeah, I would wear them one time, and then that would be it.
Yeah.
So, but too bad. Like video games, I can't just pre-order. Why can't I just pre-order these? I should be able to pre-order sneakers. Damn it! Why do I have to wait outside in the cold? It's coming out in December 7th. Might be snowing by then. I don't want to be waiting outside. Why can't I just pre-order it?
Sneakerheads in the South have a distinct advantage. It's not fair.
They do.
I know.
They do.
I know. Can I not get two so we could share?
You can each get one shoe.
Yeah.
I would take it too, and I would put. I would take it. I would put that shoe. I would just take that one shoe and you know, I would put it in plastic and just keep it up there next to the Super Mario Brothers cereal.
There you go. There you go. All right, so I think that about does it for episode 136. But before we go, Joe, this is a long-standing tradition here at Rated G for Gamers. We ask all of our guests the most important question: best Super Mario game, Super Mario World, or Super Mario Brothers 3?
Joe, listen. There's no, there is a wrong answer. There's one wrong answer. So get it right.
Just for clarity, is this something that you two actually agree on?
No.
Oh,
he's wrong.
Okay. All right. Well,
we have differing opinions on this.
I feel like I trend towards agreeing with Dan, but this will be interesting.
Pick the right answer, Joe.
If I'm being completely honest, my impulse is 3.
Yeah, thank you.
Nope. He didn't say final answer. He said impulse.
No, I gotta go with 3. I would. So it's. I mean, that's a tough one. That's a tough one to pick. I mean,
right?
World is like the more refined, better version of 3, kinda. But man, 3 was just like. Just trashed everything else on the NES. Like Mario was already better than everything else on the NES, and 3 was so next level. It was just amazing at the time. Like every new level, there was like crazy new power ups that you never even saw before. Like World is like perfect, but 3 was. I give it more credit just because of the time and the system it was on. It was just that much more impressive to me. But
I 100% agree and support that answer, Joe.
All I got to say, Joe, is I like you, but not everyone's perfect. And
we all have our failings.
Yeah. I don't worry. I still like you. It's okay.
Oh, that's lovely. That's lovely. So before we get out of here, do you have any plugs, Joe? Anything you want to rep? Any social media plugs and whatnot?
Oh man, no, I stay the heck off social media for the most part these days. You should check out spong.com. It's a lovely website, or .co.uk. I think still.
I think that's right.
Years ago, I still know some of the people working there. They mostly maintain a game database, but many years ago, I was a journalist, quote unquote, there. But otherwise, no, I just play my games with my friends and stay the heck off the internet.
Awesome. Well, we definitely want to have you back on sometime in the near future. And for us, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Vero at Rated G for Gamers. You can email us at info@ratedgforgamers.com. Please rate and review us on iTunes. So please listen, like, subscribe, and as always,
Keep gaming.